Hey Trader Shane, I'm just going to do a very quick update because I've been asked to do a very quick update for the session. So we started 850. Now unfortunately that didn't get us in on this trade because the support line printed before 850, so it has to print after 850. So you see we didn't get into that short, but the long set up beautifully here. So the long has us in there at 98.55, so we'll just mark that up on our chart. 98.55, we're in long. The great first trade. Now I'll go through the trend trader setups first, and then I'll go through the pullbacks. So here we are long on the trend trader. Cyan candles, we get long. We've also got volume confirming that we could potentially get a move up, which is fantastic. Now on these settings, we've got an initial stop of 12 points and we've got a trailing stop of -4. So let's keep going. Pushes up, hits 98.79. 98.97 with a bit of resistance. We expected that, so we did get it. But then it pulled back, didn't stop us out and went again. So fantastic, but eventually got taken out there and we'll have a look at the price there, 98.87. So we get taken out at 98. Now traders, I have 31, that's 32 points, but I've allowed a point for slippage, so just trying to keep it real. And you can see here that we get a short set up there at 88. So the actual low there is 87, so that would get us in at 87, and we're short. So we go straight from the long to the short, so that's a stop and reverse. So remember, if we're in a long trade, we need to have one trade that takes us out of or closes or flattens the position, which is a sell. And then the second sell contract gets us live into the market. So let's have a look and see how this goes. We get a little bit of heat, but again, still stay in the trade. We've got a negative 4-point stop, and we come down. We get close here again. So let's have a look. We're in at 87. So we're in at 87. We're pushing down. We don't get knocked out here either. We just miss out on getting taken out there, which is great. So this negative 4-point trailing stop is working beautifully. Don't get taken out there, but eventually get knocked out just down here. You can see there's our trailing stop there at 19, and we get knocked out there at 23. So that gives us a total 2 trades on the trend trader, 31 and 64, a total of 95 points, so $950 US. Lovely work on the trend trader. Now let's quickly go through the pullback strategy because I want to quickly do a recap on that. Now, had you have been trading the pullback strategy, now remember that you need to see the trend set up, which we've got here. Here's our first pullback trade, and based on Tim's rules, so 98.50 is our entry. So we've got a 60 stop, and you can see here that we get into the trade because we're looking for that first red dot to set up, then we work our order. And unfortunately, we get knocked out at 60. So that was a very quick trade. So for the pullback traders, you're negative 10 points straight up. First up loser. Not really too worried about that because we know it's got a good reward to risk. So on we go. Then we get the breakout long. It pulls back. It sets up another pullback trade. So entering in at 90 at 5 points above this support line, because that's our entry. 5 points above support, 5 points below resistance is our entry. So that's in at 66, so that's great, and there's our target. So as soon as we get the opposing setup occurred, or the opposing level of resistance, that gives us our target. Now you can trail, but my experience is that always better to lock in the profit on the pullbacks, and that gives us plus 15 there, so super work. All right, traders, so we pass on this pullback here because it's so close to that key level 99. So we're not going to take a trade at 94, at 98, 94 because it's just too close. So, but we do get a pullback trade here, and that entry is at 92. So -5 is 87. So we get short at 87, 10-point stop 97, and you can see that hits target nicely there at 69. So we lock in 18. Then we're looking for our next pullback. Our next pullback sets up there at 71, the resistance level. So basically our entry point from there is 66, so we're in at 66, and we get short there on that candle at 9.14. So we've got short on that candle there, and we're straight into the trade. Now we're actually in a short position. So what we've done is because we're in live in a trade, we've just kept trading the pullbacks. Now you can decide that if the trend is running, that's it. It's 8:59:10. You're done. But last night we saw that, and you'll see as I go through this, there were some fantastic setups that kept just coming and coming and coming. This trade here gets short at 66. That goes to target at 46. So as soon as the trade sets up the opposing support level, we need to move our stop to break even, and then we trail. So there's no real trail on the trade setup. We just move our stop to break even, no trail. So you can run a trail, but I haven't on this one here. You can run a 4-point trail. So your option is you can just have it at break even and wait till price hits, or you can potentially just run a 4-point -4 trailing stop. So here we go. We get another pullback here at down here at 9.18. Price pulls back, gets us in there at 29. Another nice trade setup, and that goes to target as well for 9 points. So it's just been a great. Now eventually we're going to get knocked out, but it doesn't happen because we get another setup here at 26, gets us in at 21. Our stop is 31, and there we pull another 11 points there. So when the trend is running and you're in an existing trend trade setup, you may want to position in or add to contracts as you go along, and it's up to you. You need to work out whether that's going to be part of your trade plan, and it might be a complementary part of your trade plan where you say, right, well, I want to get into the initial trend trade setup, but I also want the ability to position size into the trades. So that will happen, obviously, and you can do that, but again, you've got to work out where your circuit breaker is and where your time circuit breaker is, because clearly these trades that we were calling last night, they've lapsed over the 9.10. We didn't take any new trend trade setups after 9.10, but we were definitely looking at pullback strategies because they were complementing our existing short trend. And what we were doing is we were taking advantage of having a short trade setup, and we're just really positioning into that, or campaigning into the move. So we're compounding the potential return we're going to get by adding contracts with very little risk, because once we've had our first winner, second winner, we don't have any additional risk there because we've locked in our profit. So just another way of looking at combining the pullbacks with a trend trader. You might decide you just want to be a pullback trader. If that is the case, then you just need to work out in this session how far you want to go with your pullback entries. But my theory is that the trend will eventually end, which it does here. We get another setup there at 22, which gets us in at 17, and you can see there the pullback entry at 17, and then this trade sets up the support. We've got a very small target, so we just went out at -2 there. So we ended up with 61 points. So we had 7 trades, 5 winners, 2 losers, 61 points, 610 US, and we took 950 on the trend trader. So a super night. And look, I'll apologise if I went a bit quickly through that, but I think you'll definitely get the gist of what we were looking at last night as far as the trade setups. So all we're looking to do is we're looking to start the campaign off, or the strategy off. Now, you don't have to combine a pullback with a trend. You can quite comfortably just relax and just trade the trend trader setups, or you can trade the pullbacks on their own, but there's definitely some value to combining the two. So thank you for your time, everybody, and I look forward